Next one is the custom column feature that is available in your Power Query Editor. So how do we use custom column? First of all, what is custom column? For example, not all the time the columns that are available in your data sets are enough for you to go ahead and create the report. Sometimes you may need to add additional columns in conjunction with the existing columns in your table. So why should I add the additional columns? Because the data set, what you have is the raw data. What do you mean by raw data? Because this data alone not sufficient to gain insight, business insight. So for example, they want to see the net margin, cost of goods sold. So in that kind of situation, based on the existing column, also you want to apply some formula and create a new column. For example, I just go here and then I'm going to, currently I'm in the data view. In the data view, I'm going to click on the new column here. Okay, I want to add a new column. Click on the new column here and wait for some time. Okay, in this case, I'm going to say cost of goods sold. COGS, cost of goods sold, COGS. Okay, so is equivalent to, that is the column name. I'm going to simply multiply the quantity by the cost price. Now you need to specify the table name also. Before even copying this, it started. So here, yeah, it is working fine. You can specify directly also, okay? So here you don't have to use the sales fact. Since the quantity column name does not have any space, here it's working, right? So here in this case, quantity, yes. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, oh my God, okay. So either you can specify the table name or simply specify the, because you are working with the same table, you can directly specify quantity to cost price. So look here, my cost of goods sold. So what is this cost of goods sold? This is my cost price. So look here, this is my selling price, the list price. There is a 10 rupees difference. Obviously, your selling price will be more than your the cost price. Okay. But if you multiply the quantity by the list price, that is the one will give you the gross sales. And cost price gives you the what is the cost price, right? For this cost, how much? So here 80 rupees and your sales amount is 100. In this case, 100 minus 80. The sales amount minus cost of goods is your margin. So in this case, we have created a new column by the name of COGS with the help of not here. I was a little bit sleepy. 1 second. So okay, I just delete this. Actually, you're not supposed to create it here. You can also create it. There is nothing, harmful here, but the problem is, right click on it and delete the column. I'm still thinking of the calculated column. Okay. And you click on the home ribbon. Okay, here let's go to the transform data, Power Query Editor. And here you will find something called add column ribbon. Click on this. And here you will find the custom column. This is what we are talking. Mistaken. See, that is also correct only what we did, but that is called your calculated column. Okay, the custom column is specific to Power Query Editor. The advantage here is already, as I told you already, let's say you create a column and if you want to, let's say you delete a column. you want to restore the deleted column. Okay. So in that case, the Power Query Editor is helpful. Here you can, by clicking on the cross icon, you can undo the transaction, right? The step. And in this case, COGS, cost of goods sold. And here the cost price into quantity. Okay. I'm going to hit OK. You are able to create a new column here. But here you can see the ABC 1 to 3. So here, look here, the decimal values are too lengthy here. So what we'll do is we'll click on it here and then we'll make it the decimal number. Okay, so select the decimal number, proper decimal number, 80 point something like that. Yeah, it rounded off everything. But here still it is there. Best thing you can use fixed decimal number. Fixed decimal number, replace current, correct. 80.0. So the fixed decimal number is just a two decimal value. It is cool. Okay. Switch all tables to. Look here, in this case, the sales fact table is a direct query mode. But when I added a new column, when I change the data type, now it says you cannot do this. And this step results in a query that is not supported in direct query mode. Guys, remember this. In the intro, they will ask you what kind of operations you cannot do it in direct query mode. In direct query mode, I cannot change the data type. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to hit switch all tables to import mode. Now it has to load the data from the source system database into my Power BI desktop. Please apply or discard changes. Okay, here. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. File, close and apply. Creating direct query connection, sales fact, left out rejoin as usual, evaluating, let it be there. It has to switch from direct query to the import, and then so what is the okay? There are pending changes in your queries. Loading failures. Okay, close and your custom column cannot be applied in direct query also because that is an error. First, we will have to convert that to import mode and then only you need to do it. Okay, that's why it's causing problem. Let us do one thing. I'm going to select the sales aggregation factor. It's already import mode, right? I don't want to. Okay, import only. Afternoon, sorry, feeling sleepy. That's the reason why not able to concentrate. Look here. And here, we have added in this one only, right? Oh, sales fact table, did I add it? Okay. Actually, I want to add it here, sales aggregation fact table. Okay. And here, I just go to the add column, custom column. That is one thing you need to note it down. Okay. But anyhow, I was a little bit sleepy. Okay. That's the reason why. So actually, I want to add a column in my sales aggregation fact table. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. And quantity into the cost price. Error, even in this case, error. What is the error here? Or equal to left equal to right equal to 40. Go to error. In this case, first let us check the data types are correct. Quantity is CBC. Look here, that is a problem. So if I just change it to the decimal number. And then type number, and then where is the cost price? Cost price is not available here. Yeah, that is it is there, right? Cost price and quantity. Okay. Now let's go back here. And here I just click on COGS. Yeah, I'm here. Change to type. Okay, COGS. Click on the added column. Look at the wheel icon. When you click on it, you can see that the no syntax errors, quantity into cost price, correct only. Now we change the data type, and we are in the imported table only, but still it shows the error. Okay, it should pick up dynamically. It is not doing it. I just remove it. I'm going to click on the custom column, and I'm going, sorry, I always look here. I just go here and then remove it, change the type. Okay, and the quantity, everything is fine. Cost price is also 1.2, and yeah. So now we will create a new column. Cost price into the quantity. Hit OK. Now it got create no issues. Okay, and now if I apply it, see, in the case of direct query mode, let it finish. Okay, if this works, then there is no issues, there are no confusions. Only in sales aggregator fact table, we have created a new custom column called COGS. Okay, the previous issue was in the direct query mode. When you create a custom column, first of all, right, it is not working. Okay, and you cannot add a new column. That is one problem. On top, when you use some formula or something like that, right, and when you try to apply it, it was throwing an error saying that in direct query mode you cannot do this operation. Hence, if you want to switch from direct query to import mode, go ahead and do that. But though I clicked on switch from direct query to import mode, it did not take into account of it on the fly. Okay, maybe manually you go here, and then, for example, this is your direct query mode. Select this one, and then scroll down, and then click on import mode. But in real time scenario, you will not be allowed to change the storage mode and all. Okay, so that is one thing. And if you change it to import, it don't ever do that mistake. These kind of fact tables that have millions and millions of records literally slow down your system. It will put additional burden on your network, everything. Okay, yeah. But one thing you understand, in the case of direct query, you cannot add a custom column, and you cannot do anything. Okay, the formula, everything cannot do it. It's throwing an error. But this is the scenario where you can look here. Where is COGS? COGS we added, right? Where is COGS? It is not visible. List price, and yeah, I just added it. Why it's not reflected here? Sales aggregator fact table, and in this case, I have added the custom. I did not change it to it's custom, right? Okay, that is the problem. And let me do one thing. I will just go over here, and then here's something called custom is there. Yeah. Look here, custom. Actually, this is nothing but your Cost of goods. So I did not give the proper name, but I was thinking that the column name was COGS. Here also you can rename it. Okay. Model, in the model we also can rename it. Fine, it is working cool. Okay. What is the next thing? Now we will similarly we can create some conditional columns. We have an option called conditional column. Add column, go to add column and click on conditional column. Here we can define some column. We can create a column with some kind of bucketing. Sales type. If the column name, the sales amount, let's say, the sales amount is less than or equal to, for example, what is the value here? The sales amount, yeah, 100. Okay, less than or equal to 100. So you can say low sales. Sorry, here I just click on the wheel icon. Now I'm going to add a clause here. And if the sales amount is less than or equal to 200, it is a medium. I'm going to click on the wheel again. I'm going to add another class. The sales amount is less than or equal to, let's say something like big number you give. This is your height. And end of the day, when you click on the drop down here, you should be able to see high, low, medium, and all. Everything is there. Cool. This is called your conditional column. Instead of writing if logic, everything. Look here, if you select this one and if you go back here it is not showing. Okay, fine. So anyhow, I just disable column quality profile and all. Okay, fine. I just use the advanced query editor. If you go to the advanced, we have something called advanced query editor. And if you see here, look here, you need to know the YAML language. If the sales amount is less than 100 low. So we have something called the advanced editor, where you can find out under the view ribbon in Power Query Editor. Click on the advanced, it will give you holistically all the steps that you carried out, right? For that, you can see it here. So demo DB and add column, cost of goods we added with this formula, based on this formula, and then quantity we changed the type to number data type. And again, we did this custom COGS. In this case, what we can do is, these two steps are not required, right? Because quantity into cost price already we did it. So likewise, you can optimize it by, say, look here on the right side, just beneath the applied steps, you can see all the steps, whatever you carried on this data set, right? It stores everything in proper sequence. In the case of apartment, we have the CCTV, isn't it? Which person, what time came to your apartment, or which person came first, which person came next. If you want to track it, you will have to fast forward it, or you need to reverse it, right? The same way here, this is properly it stores all the steps in proper sequence. Okay, fine. And here the sales type. Okay, so this is already explained you, right? Okay, fine. So now we learned how to create a conditional column. And 1 second. The reason why I came here was renamed columns and removed columns. Which column that I removed it? Cost of goods, I removed it. Okay, and here added column, cost price. Initially it was throwing an error, right? Yeah, again we have added custom column one. So this step is not required. Unnecessary steps you can remove it. And remove it. But if you remove it, what will happen is it caused some problem. Look here, after you change the data type quantity and then added custom column, there are no issues. The two steps, redundant steps, we removed it unnecessarily, right? Because when you apply it, close and apply, what those steps will get applied, and then so because of some data type issue, it will throw an error. And once you click on close and apply, it will not get applied correctly. And you might be thinking here, I fixed it, everything, why it is not working, right? Because of that, incorrect steps, also it can cause some issues like that. The troubleshooting is very much important. This is really an interesting thing. Remember it, okay? I'm going to hit close and apply. Let's see if we have any issues. No issues, cool. So now you learned about how to create a custom column, what is conditional column, and also as part of this, we explored how to troubleshoot, right? So how to, by removing the redundant steps. Okay, the recent steps were the fixed one. The previous steps were having some issues, right? So the steps where we had issues, better you can remove it. What are the other things we are left? Yeah, what other scenarios we can use conditional column? Supposing you have the customer first name, last name, you want to combine those two things into a single column. That kind of situation also you can use that one. For example, here I have the customer dimension table, and here I have first name and last name. Okay, here I want to add another column wherein I want to concatenate these two columns values in a single column. And how do I do that? In that kind of situation, you can create a custom column. For this, you need to click on this ribbon, and then I'm going to click on the custom column. Here the full name, or simply I say the customer, or we'll give some meaningful name. Okay, customer full name. Here what I do is the first name and ampersand the ampersand last name. That's all. First name, last name, we want to combine it. I'm going to hit OK now. Customer full name. So now you understood how to do the concatenation. The ampersand is very much helpful here. Okay, this is another example for creating custom column. There are scenarios where you want to combine the hierarchical column, hierarchical values into a single column. For example, you have state column is there, city column is there, right? Something like that. State, city is there. In that case, what you do is you want to combine into a single thing: country, state, city. Right? It's on a hierarchical column, and you want to store everything in a single column. In that kind of situation, also you can do. In that kind of situation, again, you need to use ampersand, ampersand. They want you to flatten a column, right? So hierarchical column into in a single column. In that kind of situation also, for example, this is your country, state, city, ampersand, ampersand. So all the values will be available in a single column. Okay, next one is the other examples are like you want to extract no, you don't have to delete the first name and last name. Let it be there, okay? Because you want to verify it later point time, right? So let it be there. But this is not going to cause any problem, okay? And the next one is conditional column from examples, okay? And yeah, I just go to the sales aggregation fact table. And here we have the order date. Look here, we have something called order date here. So we want to change the format of the order date column. I want to display something like year hyphen month hyphen date. Currently, it shows that currently it shows date, month, year. I want to store it in year, month, date. So there are some cases we may have to change the format your date column. So how do I do that? So you can use the M script, but instead you can use M script, but still you need to know the logic, everything. Best thing you can rope in with the column from examples. Okay. So first is select the column, whatever, in this case I've selected order date, column from examples, click on the drop down from selection, click on it. And here what you do is type some sample data 2021 hyphen 11 hyphen 02. Okay. And then here, 00 colon 00, let it be there. I'm not going to bother about this. I'm going to press enter. And again, I just go and say 2021 hyphen 12 hyphen 03 space 00 colon 00 colon 00. Press enter. Look here, I just keyed in two values. Rest of the values got filled in automatically. So what kind of logic is required? If I see if there is no option or the feature called column from examples, then you should have written this command text dot combine and date time to text, year, extract only year, month, date, and the hour, minute, second, all right. So in this case, you don't have to be aware of this script, right? You don't have to derive this logic. In that kind of situation, the column from examples is very much helpful. I'm going to hit OK. All we have to do is we need to key in some sample data. It learns from this sample data. It is somewhat similar to your artificial intelligence, okay, the machine learning algorithm. The machine learning algorithm works similar way. The algorithm, we need to train it with some sample data. So once it learned the pattern, and it goes and based on this pattern, it converts the rest of the thing automatically. That is what has happened in our case. It's really super cool feature, isn't it? Otherwise, you need to break your head. You need to go and check what kind of command that you need to use it on, all right? Look here, it's all correctly changed. So now you learned about what is custom column, what is conditional column, what is column from examples, okay? Fine, it's already 3:12, okay, and we started by 2 p.m., right? Okay. So any of, I have some other calls. What we'll do is, we will continue in the upcoming weekend, okay? Fine. You have any questions? In case I get any spare time, I will check with others. If they are okay, I'll put you in the weekday itself so that we can speed it up. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. Don't worry, I will upload yesterday and today's video. Okay.